Hello and welcome to the Sensual Being podcast with myself, your host, Jolene Whiting. I have been a pole dance teacher for nearly 20 years. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my favourite pastimes are connecting to my own sensuality, connecting with the world, and connecting with animals as well. In this podcast, you'll find new and inventive ways of how you see yourself, connecting yourself with others, and also how you see and view the world around you. In this episode today, we are going to be talking about my fascination with mirrors, our own reflection, and how we can use it to appreciate ourselves. Hello and welcome, you gorgeous sensual being. I hope you've been having a magical day so far, and I'm so grateful that you are here right now with me on our little quest through life together. Feel free to grab yourself a cup of tea, maybe a nice little snack, and we shall have a little chat about something that I've been wondering about quite a lot for the past few years, but particularly recently, some things have been brought to light with this. Now I'm talking about mirrors, our reflection, and actually looking in the mirror, and being able to look in the mirror. Because this has been deemed as something that's given us a bad name. So if you look in the mirror a lot, oh, she loves herself, or she's so vain, and things like that. Now, I've been doing mirror dancing with my students at Purity Studio for years. We've been doing this for years, and it's interesting. As a teacher, I will not indulge in every single dance that we do. Sometimes I will go and sit down. If I'm teaching 3 classes a night and there's multiple dancers within the classes, I can't do all that dancing. I need to have a rest. So I'll go and sit on the side. But when it comes to mirror dancing, I can't. Even if I don't have a mirror myself and I just dance up to the wall, I cannot sit on the side whilst people are mirror dancing, because it is so personal, so personal, that I feel like there's an invasion. But when we dance collectively, so every week I do, it's my favourite hour of the week, and it's called Sirens of the Moon. We do a mirror dance every week in that class. I say class, it's more of a session, because it's meditative movement. We're all in it together. We all each have a mirror. Now, we're up against that mirror and we're all in it together. And there's some sort of sense of camaraderie together in that. And it's not a speaking class. It's literally just dancing. It flows through beautifully. And we all just go on this journey, this adventure together. And it's so fulfilling. It really is. It fills my cup up, put it that way. So when we're all dancing, now I take the pressure off people. So if you want to try this, you are very welcome to. So when you do a mirror dance, I normally do it standing, so you can see the whole body, but you don't have to stand. I just prefer standing because you just see your whole form in one go. Now, when you do it, there is no aim. People are like, I couldn't look at myself. It's like, no, you don't have to. So I normally say start with your feet. And a lot of time in pole, we do like nice footwork, or we're in fancy heels. So the focus to go down to your feet is quite easy. Even if you're not wearing shoes, you just point your toes and, you do nice little steps and things. And you just keep your focus there. And as time goes on, maybe seconds, maybe years, you work your way up your body. Now, as you do this, it's very hard to do this without critiquing and judging yourself. Very, very hard. No one is exempt from this. It is work to not do that. So when you're making your way up your body, if you can, you make your way to your face. And when you get there, if you can look in your eyes, there is something magical that happens. And recently, this year, I changed the mirror dancing a bit, and I added intention before and after it in some of my classes. And what happened was, for me, for one, I tried to maintain some eye contact at times, not all the time, but at times. And interestingly, what I said earlier about the conditioning of, oh, you're so vain, looking in the mirror, no one was watching me. And yet I still had those feelings in the back of my head, in the back of my mind, going, people are going to think you're this, think you're that if you keep looking in the mirror at yourself. And it's so weird when you're in a room of people who are all doing the same thing. And do you want to know what else is weird? I've even had those feelings come up when I've been on my own. There's no one there. There's no one around me. And yet these deep-rooted societal conditioning from when I was young, when I was a kid, and it came from people at school. That's where it came from. I remember times when, there was things said, and I remember watching things being said to other people as well. I sort of thought, I didn't really think of it at the time. I just thought, okay, better not look in the mirror then, better be careful. And that led us into a society that only actually really uses mirrors to critique or judge yourself or to check yourself. So even if I put my makeup on, I can put my makeup on and not really look at myself. And when I say look at myself, I mean look at myself, look at my spirit, smile at myself, engage with myself. You can look in the mirror and not do any of that. Yeah. And how often do we use mirrors without critiquing or judging ourselves or to actually check ourselves? How often do we do it? And it occurred to me, it's only really hit me this year that I thought, we don't. Why not? Why not? So one of the things that I did, so I went to a Tony Robbins seminar last year and absolutely blew my socks off. It was so intense. It was honestly the best 4 days ever, like incredible. But anyway, one of the things that happened towards the end, so on the last day, we had somebody there. I think his name was Master Co. I think that's his name. He's on YouTube. And he was there and he was doing this meditation, which was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal with us. The room was electric. It was amazing. And what happened after that meditation? So it was Twin Hearts, meditation. But after that meditation, there's a room of like 10,000 people. And I didn't know anybody. Didn't know anyone. And what he got us to do after that was the first person, when we open our eyes, the first person that we make a connection with, we go up to them. And I couldn't tell you how long it was. I want to say 5 minutes, maybe it was 10 minutes. And all we did was look into each other's eyes and flood the other person with love, send in so much love to the other person. Now, this person I hadn't seen all weekend, but oh my God, me and her, we just, it's so hard to explain, but it literally felt like we connected, and it felt like our energies connected. It honestly felt like we were falling in love, and I'd literally only just laid eyes on her. And it wasn't because I tried to pick the prettiest girl in the room or anything like that. It had nothing to do with looks. This was primal. It was our energies. It was something bigger than ourselves happening. And I haven't spoken to her since. I don't even know who she was or what her name was. It was completely unspoken. And the love that we were sending to each other through our eyes was so incredibly powerful. Oh my God, it honestly, this is next level. When people talk about next level, this is what it is. This is something else. So what I decided to do after that experience is I thought, I'm going to bring that to mirror dancing, to ourselves. So this year with the intentions at the start of each year. I like to start off with like some self-love and some self-love exercises, intentions, meditations within my pole dancing classes, because this is me. We don't just do pole dancing. That's like a side thing. We are there for ourselves first, and then we learn pole. That's how it is in my head. So when we did this mirror dance, at the end of it, I said to them, now I want you to either look yourself in the eyes or look yourself in the eyes and shut your eyes, just so you haven't got, because some people can't look, you know. So I wanted it open to everybody to be able to do this. So right at the end, it was a case of you hold on to the side of the mirror just for balance, place a hand over your heart, either look into your eyes or look into your eye level, and then shut your eyes. And then imagine sending yourself love. Sending floods and floods of love through your eyes into your mirror self. And I have done this with both eyes open and eyes closed because I wanted to get a full feeling of what the difference was. And I can tell you both of them are incredibly intense. Both of them are incredibly intense. And you imagine your mirror self reflecting that love back to you as well. So your mirror self is sending that energy back to you. So you're sending it to your mirror self, and your mirror self is sending it back. It's powerful. But the interesting thing is that the eyes closed versus the eyes open. Like I said, they're both intense. But with the eyes open, something happened. Like what happened with that woman at the seminar. Something happened. And I know this didn't happen, but it's almost like it did. So it's almost like I saw my reflection. I saw her looking back at me. I didn't see me looking back at me. I saw her looking back at me. And this was incredibly, incredibly powerful. And it's making me feel really interesting, particularly as just outside my window there is a massive hawk that has just been circling around the window as I've been talking about this powerful part. And if you're somebody who reads into signs and things like that, signs from the universe, that's a very interesting one. Okay. I find quite often in my life, oh, there it is again, that when I am talking or creating things that are extremely powerful to me and make me feel vulnerable and aligned all at the same time, I will often see a hawk, and it's I just can't tell you. Oh my god. Anyway, so I almost saw, when I looked in the mirror, I almost saw her looking back. Now what I mean by that is I almost saw like she moved by herself, or the eyes didn't, you know, when you look at someone and they're not, obviously not a reflection, so their eyes are just like their eyes. That's what I saw. It was like I saw myself. It's so hard to explain. Now, this is interesting because not only are we voiding ourselves of this type of connection with ourselves, but we are avoiding this connection with people that we love, people that we're close with, our family, our friends. We are avoiding this with distractions, with TV, screens, going somewhere, doing something else. We are avoiding this type of connection. I'm not saying that when you're sitting across and having a meal with your partner that you should just be staring at them in the eyes and flooding them with love, because they might start to get a little bit on edge and a little bit scared. Like, why are they staring at me? You know. But we are losing this powerful connection with each other. And I can't help but wonder, like, of all the years that, for example, TV is the biggest one because it does literally take your focus. All the years that all of us have spent watching the TV and not be fully present with ourselves or with the people that we're with, to me it's so, that feeling in me, I thought when I stopped watching TV in May 2022 that, oh yeah, I'd probably watch it a little bit every now and again. I can't. I feel almost, and it's not a judgment on other people, this is my feeling towards myself, okay, before I say it, I almost feel repulsed at myself for sitting there and watching TV, like I am wasting my life. And it's so weird because I can waste my life in other ways, but suddenly that way I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's really weird. It's like there's a spell over me when I watch TV, and I'm like, nope, just no, stay away. But it's not a judgment on anybody else. I'm fine with that. But it's interesting how many people around me have changed their TV habits. So my mum, she doesn't really watch films and things and series of anything anymore. She likes to watch real things, like she follows a lot of people who do blogging on YouTube and following their lives. She likes to watch real life. So that's really changed for her. My partner, he doesn't really watch TV anymore. We went on holiday last year and there was an electrical storm, and I think it blew up one of the TVs when we were away. So it's just never really worked. So he's never really got back into it. And it's just interesting how people around me have sort of taken some of what I've said and thought, maybe I'll apply that to my own life. Because when you actually start to do this, you realize how much we're being blocked quite often by staring at a screen, whether you're playing games. Now, it's funny because you think go to the cinema together. Dinner and a movie was always like a thing. Or playing a game, you're playing it together, you're interacting. You might be interacting together, but you're also losing so much time together. Like, even if you think it's quality time, there's still something that you can't deny that you are losing with that other person. And it's just a fact. It's just there. It can't be denied. It's just there. And a little nugget for you, which I saw ages ago. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I like a play on words, you see. So television, if you write it down, it almost looks like tell, lie, vision. As in telling a lie through the vision. Ugh, words like that. Ugh, it scares me. When I sort of break down words and I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. Where did that come from? My God. We're all under a spell. Oh, but yeah, so it's interesting, the work with mirrors that we can do to really connect into our deep parts of our soul. I mean, I grew up loving Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass, it's like, wow, it was like this whole world on the other side of the mirror. I've always been fascinated with that type of story and adventure, and I just lose myself in that. And when we do a lot of mirror work, something else that we can do, that I'm not saying this is a bad thing, this is a really good thing, but it shouldn't be the only thing. Because some people say, and like I say, it's a good thing, to look in the mirror and speak affirmations to yourself. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But can you still stop and look at yourself? So it's a bit like you're checking yourself, aren't you? Because you're telling yourself stuff. When you do an affirmation in a mirror, you're telling yourself stuff. And like I say, it's still a good thing. But you're telling yourself. You're not being with yourself. You are telling yourself something. So mix in with your affirmations. If you do affirmations, don't stop. And if you haven't done any before, start, because they're brilliant. But also link it in with actually that connecting. And if you can connect to your eyes, that would be even better. So actually send love through your eyes to your mirror self. And imagine that your mirror self is sending that love straight back to you. Eyes open or closed, whichever works for you, because I appreciate how hard this is. This is not easy, and you might get caught out sometimes if you've never done mirror dancing before and you put on a nice song and you stand there and all you have to do is like figures of 8, hips side to side, stroking your body. It's not crazy dancing. Put on something slow, and if you've got heels on, please make sure you are not on carpet. Otherwise, just stay barefoot or in socks, or even put on something nice or not. It's up to you. But you can get caught out by doing a mirror dance and being like, really enjoyed that actually. I thought she said it would be hard. That was really easy. Then another day you'll come to do it and be like, oh my God, I'm not happy. So just have that underlying respect that this is actually quite a difficult practice sometimes, or all the time, or never. Just be ready for feelings like that. Now, if you are somebody who can normally look at yourself in the eyes and for some reason you just can't, don't put the pressure on yourself. Bring your focus down to your feet, your legs, and you don't even have to go any further than that. Try not to have the focus around the room somewhere else. Try and make sure the focus is still on you and on your body. And this isn't about your appearance. I need to stress that before we finish. This is not about your appearance. It's about being with who you are right now. It's not about checking. It's not about telling. It's not about critiquing. It's not about judgment. It's about appreciation towards yourself. To be able to accept how you are in that moment and to appreciate how far you've got in your life with that body, that same body. You haven't changed body, have you? You haven't changed body. That's still your same body. That's the same, right? That is the same body that you had when you were in the womb. I'm going to leave you with that because that's quite mind-blowing. Like, I haven't said that before. I haven't thought about that before. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Aren't we fucking powerful? Yes, we are. We are fucking powerful. I'm powerful, and so are you. You are amazing. So thank you so much for joining me today. I thoroughly loved doing this episode because I really am fascinated with working with mirrors and our mirror self. So let me know how you get on if you do a mirror dance. And remember, as always, to lead through your life with your heart and to live with intention. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your friends and on social media. If you have the time to rate or review this podcast, I'd be ever so grateful. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Jolene Sensual Being. The links to my YouTube and to sign up to my mailing list will be in the show notes as well. I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.